All right, guys. Oh my gosh. Look at all these folks in the chat. Hey, guys, it's great to see everyone. So excited to be here in my studio, here to talk today about vocal tones, singing tones, all of this fantastic stuff. Vocal tone is a really, really big issue when it comes to singing. What are some of the things that are holding you back in terms of your vocal tone? For example, you might be singing too nasal. You might be singing too hyponasal, which means not nasal enough. I bet you never thought you'd hear that from me. You could be singing too hollow. You could be singing too bright or too strident. There are lots of different things that can be going on with the vocal tone, and we are going to work with some actual people today to kind of get to the bottom of what's going on with their vocal tone and what may be kind of holding them back. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. As I always do, guys, remember the 3 key rules. If you're going to join me for a free mini lesson, you have to turn on your camera, you have to turn on your microphone, and you have to have good internet. I almost forgot the third one. Very, very important. You have to have good internet so that everybody can hear you. Now, before we actually jump in today, I'm very, very excited because right now we're actually doing a special on our fantastic 150 vocal songs ebook. Is a completely downloadable resource with 150 different mini song lessons. Let me see if I can actually share this so people can see what you would actually be getting. This will be kind of fun. I'm still figuring out how to do all this stuff. Hey Lisa, I see you in the chat room. I'll be with you in just a second. Let me see here. So window, yeah. So here's just a quick preview of the 150 vocal songs book. This is the one for basses, baritones, and tenors for males and those who identify as male. Anyway, our special today is that you can get this complete Bare Essentials edition with all 150 vocal song lessons. Oh man, I'm just scrolling way too fast, but that's okay. I don't want you guys to be able to see everything. Can't give it all away. You can get that all for $19 right now. So I'll go ahead and just drop the link in the chat for that as well. Okay, we got Lisa, we got Kai. People are excited to be here, and I am very excited to have you guys. So, now before I actually start working with some folks, I just wanted to quickly talk about what creates vocal tone and what are some of the factors that actually go into vocal tone. So, first of all, I just want to distinguish the difference between musical tone and vocal tone. Okay. So, musical tones are like pitches or notes like this. Those are musical tones, which is like another way of saying musical notes or musical pitches. That is different from vocal tone. Vocal tone is the sound or the unique kind of quality of a singer's voice. Now, if you're listening to my voice, you may hear that I'm a bit of a loudmouth. I have this really bright, big, kind of boomy, brassy tone. And my own journey with my vocal tone is kind of funny in that when I first started singing lessons, all my favorite singers were these really light, breathy singers like oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name. He did that oh gosh, I'll come up with it in a second. But Elliott Smith is another example of someone that I really loved. Tom York of Radiohead. He did the so there it is, just like you said it would be. Can anyone name what that singer is? I can't remember. Oh my gosh. I think that song is called like The Professor or something like that. Oh well. Somebody look it up and double check me, please. I need an assistant for this. So if anyone wants to be my assistant to be my gopher to help me look up stuff like this, I'd appreciate it. So what's funny about that is like if you listen to the sound of my speaking voice and then you compare it to the sound that I was trying to get with my singing, it's obviously very, very Damian Rice. Thank you, Natalie. It's obviously very different. So I was trying to create a different tone than what was natural for my singing voice. And that would be more of an artistic choice. So if I wanted to sing more breathy, more kind of nasal like that, then that would be an artistic choice. But what we see a whole lot of the time is that we see people who don't really have a whole lot of control over their vocal tone. Their vocal tone sounds a specific way that they don't like, and they're not able to fix it. They're not able to talk about it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring on Lisa. Lisa, can you do me a favor? Can you actually look at your camera, or maybe you're already looking at your camera? Is that what you're doing? Because it looks like you're just looking to the side still. Maybe it's a different camera. Well, I'll add you to the stream and we'll figure it out. Can I get a thumbs up? Awesome. Hey, how you doing today?
I'm okay. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you just fine. For some
I
reason, I
can
can
still
just see.
hear what you were saying before.
Oh, interesting. Okay, gotcha.
So what do we have to do?
I'm not really sure. every every week we go through the same thing of like I have
Okay,
no
I'll try
idea.
to ignore what I can hear other than right now.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell me just a little bit about, what you're working on with your own vocal tone, Lisa?
Sorry, hon, I can't hear what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah, it's still playing it back. I'm going to go ahead and that's very strange. I'm going to remove you from the stream so that maybe it starts to catch up with itself. But in the meantime, Kai, are you good to go? Can I get 2 thumbs up from you? Okay. We got 1 thumb up. That's good. Hey, can you hear me? It looks like you're muted actually.
Yeah, sorry, I can hear you. Yes.
Awesome, man. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm here in Germany. It's pretty sunny,
Yeah.
and yeah, unfortunately, it seems that my accu, my battery is going kind of low, but I hope it's gonna work out.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with the time that we have of
Yes.
your phone. What part of Germany are you in?
In the northeast, so if you know Rügen, the island, that's like really northeast of Germany, close to there. It's called Greifswald.
Ooh, that's awesome. Can you say that one more time?
Yes. What time?
No, can you say the name of it one more time?
Greifswald. So
Gre-
Greif, it's like Griffin,
Greifweis.
and yeah, and Wald is like forest. So
That's awesome, dude. Wow. Well, tell me what you're trying to work on with your tone.
yeah, I'm having like a problem, like several problems. Like sometimes I'm focusing too much on the pitch, and I am still not like my musical hearing is not that great developed. So mostly I tend to jump too far in the intervals and
I see.
don't really hit the pitch that I'm trying to. And then when I'm trying to convey certain tone or emotion, then I'm starting to lose grab of the pitch, and it's
Ah,
yeah, like the mechanics of singing. I'm still really trying to figure out still and
okay.
working on it, but yeah, it's a long way still.
Gotcha. Do you so I play drums as well, and I don't talk about that a whole lot on my channel, but I play drums and I took lessons from my drum teacher for a couple of years, and he always the thing about drums is you have to learn how to separate your right hand from your left hand and your right
Yes,
foot from your left foot, and you have to be able to play everything independently from each other. Um and so he gave me this really good analogy that I still use with singing, which is that he's like, it's kind of like you're trying to smooth out a bed sheet. And it's like you smooth out this one part of the bed sheet, but then the other side gets wrinkled. And then you go to
yes,
smooth that side out, and then the other side gets wrinkled. I'm kind of hearing the same thing about you and singing, Kai, is like that it's like, hey, if I focus on the pitch, then this thing goes wrong. And then if I focus on that other thing, then the pitch goes wrong. Is that right?
exactly.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And
Well,
also, I'm playing guitar mostly when I'm singing, and it's always when I'm focusing more on the singing, I tend to grab something wrong, and yeah,
of course.
it's it's a puzzle that needs a lot of fixing.
Well, why don't I hear you sing a little something real quick? Can you just
Sure,
go?
sure.
Ah.
Ah,
Right on. Okay, cool. So let's try to find the pitch together. Can you sing? No worries, no worries, Kai. We're working on right now. We're working on the pitch. So not
mhm.
even so much the vocal tone in the way that you sound, more about like finding the right pitch. Can you go? Samir's saying any untrained voice here like me. Well, I would say Kai, is still working on his voice too. We're all training our voices here together. Can you just try to match this note for me? Can you go ah?
Ah,
Nice, nice, nice. That's much closer. So, have you heard the term sharp and flat before, Kai?
yeah, definitely. I tend to go flat, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
So
like for me it's like microtones sometimes. I'm really not noticing if I'm like a half step flat or a full step flat. Yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. That's why we're here. That's why we're working on it. So if I go like this, it means that you're flat. By the way, for all the people that don't know flat and sharp. So if this is the pitch that you're trying to sing, anything that you sing below that would be flat. And if this is the pitch that you're trying to sing, then anything above that note would be sharp. So if you're trying to sing but you go that would be flat. And if you're trying to sing but you go that would be sharp. Okay. So what I'm hearing that Kai is doing, he's going a little bit flat. So if I go like this, Kai, I want you to try to bring your voice up in pitch just slightly. Okay. So when I went, and you went, I want you to bring it up until I give you this. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it, baby. I love your enthusiasm. Very good. So go, ah.
Ah, ah.
There you go. There you go. Now try the same thing on dough, like you're saying like a donut, like dough.
Do, do,
There you go.
do.
Can you kind of feel how your voice lined up with that sound that the phone is making?
Yes, but it feels like it's high in my range that I have to put a bit of power like behind
Yeah.
it.
I was just working on this with another singer in a private lesson the other day. But who in the chat also feels this way sometimes? It's like you're close to the note, but you have a hard time getting exactly to the right note. So here's what I'm hearing with you, Kai, is that basically it's almost like you think that you have like this really low voice. And so in order to sing the note that I want you to sing, you're like, oh, I have to go, duh, but it's really not
Yes.
that high. It's right there in the middle. Can you just sing that note again? Can you go, do?
Do, do,
That's it. That's it. And give me an O vowel rather than do, do.
do.
There you go. Now go do, re, mi. So 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi.
Do, do, re, mi.
Nice job. Nice job. Now try to get a little confidence behind that, Kai. So rather
Okay.
than do, re, mi, do, re, mi.
Do, re, mi.
Good, you're a little flat there. So do re mi, do re mi.
Do, re, mi.
There you go. That's it right there. Good. And Catherine brought up a good point was that you were changing the vowel when I asked you to sing ah. You were like and
Mhm.
that's part of that's a resonance issue, of course, but also part of it is just like you're not singing the proper vowel. That's why I'm having you do the do re mi to get that feeling of where each of those notes in those vowels specifically is supposed to be. So let's do that same thing here now. Can you go do re mi?
Do, re, mi.
Close. Let's match do. Go do.
Do,
Nice. You're just a little bit under. Just bring it up a tiny bit. Do.
do, do,
Good. Okay, start there.
do,
There you go. Now do re mi.
do, re, mi.
There we go. There we go. Good. Now do the same thing here. Do re mi.
Do, re, mi.
That's it, baby. Keep going.
Again, please. Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Do re mi.
Do, re, mi.
So this is where you're like, oh gosh, she's having me go really high. It's not
Yes.
that high. Just imagine those notes are below you, Kai. Like you're just
Okay.
like do re mi. Very easy.
Do, re, mi,
One more time. Just sing this first pitch with me and match my do. Do.
do,
There you go. There you go. I would love that
do,
even.
re, mi.
Well done, Kai. Well done.
Oh, thanks.
You
Thanks a
got it.
lot.
You got it. Now, let's do something crazy. Have you ever heard the song Lean on Me by Bill Withers? Do you know that
Yeah,
song?
of course, of course.
Oh, you do? Awesome. Cool.
Yes.
A lot of kids these days don't know that song.
I'm already 31, so
I got you beat, buddy. I'm 35, but I mean that was before both our times.
It's true, true. But for me, those are like legendary songs.
I love those songs. I love those songs so much. So let's do something crazy. Can you go? Oh, Samir's talking about you have your break at your F4. Samir, go ahead and join me for a lesson so I can work with your voice a little bit directly. Kai, are you still with me or did your battery die? Okay, I'm thinking Kai's battery is almost gone. So it looks like he's frozen. I'm going to go ahead and remove him from the stream just so that I can talk to you guys for a second. And Kai, if you come back, then you can give me the thumbs up. So what I'm noticing when Kai's singing is just that it's kind of like he's just new at this. He's just new at singing on these pitches directly on them. And so what I really... Oh, you're back. Okay, cool. You're back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My battery just was dead. But now I'm.
That's all right.
Now I'm on my phone. Just have to get it in the right place.
Sonic
this.
fan says, I
Like
really
this.
wish I could attend your session. Sadly, I'm still unemployed. People are not paying to come onto this. Kai, did you pay to come onto this?
No. I just saw you get live, and I took the opportunity to come.
Yes, dude, exactly. So Sonic, you have no reason not to join. Yeah, well, we're doing all these deals in the back. You know, you're really paying me thousands of dollars for this
Of
tiny
course.
lesson. No, yes, of course. So what I want you to do is I want you to just go with the melody of the song. So we're just gonna say sometimes in our lives. So it's the first line of "Lean on Me" by Bill Withers. Can you just sing that back to me?
Sometimes in our lives.
Yeah, so think of it as 4 notes. So sometimes in our lives, do 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 do.
Sometimes in our lives.
There you go. Now your voice is moving up in the way that it needs to, but it's just not moving up fast enough. You're still flat. Let's find those notes. So can you sing that note back to me?
Some.
There you go. Now
Okay,
there you go. Now sing that note again.
Some.
Good. Now sometimes in our lives.
Sometimes in our lives.
There you go. We all have pain.
We all have pain.
Good. We all have sorrow.
We all have sorrow.
Oh, you're almost. We all have sorrow. Do 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 do.
We all have sorrow.
So you're flat on the we all have that word. We all have sorrow.
We all have sorrow.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
But if we are wise.
But if we are wise.
Good. Try to find that do again. But do.
But.
There you go.
But if we all try.
But if we are wise. But if we are wise.
But if we are wise.
There you go. Go for it.
How does it continue?
But if we are wise.
But if we are wise.
Then Oh my gosh, I've gotten so lost because we're breaking it down so slowly. So this is why I need an assistant. BH, where you at on this? I'm just kidding. But if we are wise, we know that there's
We know that there's.
yeah, we know that there's
We know that there's.
almost. Just listen to that first note. We know that there's
We know that there's.
good always tomorrow.
Always tomorrow.
Almost. So this one's complicated. Always tomorrow.
Always tomorrow.
There you go. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Good.
Great.
Now,
Thanks.
thank you, Kai. Thank you so much for joining. Do you feel okay?
I'm feeling great. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have somebody guide me right, because when you're doing it on yourself, you're always guessing, am I doing it right or not? And
Yeah.
it's like, really, thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Dude, thank you for being here. It takes a lot, and I really, really appreciate you guys being here. We've got a lot of folks in the waiting room who I've promised to give a lesson to. The other Kai, I'm looking at another Kai. I'm talking about you. I remember you came on at the end last week, and I wasn't able to work with you. But just so that everybody knows where I'm coming from, where I'm working on those notes with the other Kai, with I'm going to call him the original Kai, okay. When I was working with okay there, I chose a really simple song that's like just moving up in very, very simple scales. So watch my pinky, watch my left hand. So it's that sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's right. It's just moving up and back down, step by step, step by step by step. So when you're working with somebody that's just starting off with their pitch training, like Kai is here. Well, I don't know that he's just starting off, but that's where he's at right now. He's working mostly on his pitch training. You want to find not just a bunch of exercises and stuff like that that are, just going to drive him crazy, but you also want to find songs that actually are going to kind of reinforce some of those same things. Can anyone in the chat, here's a good little crowd participation thing here. Can anyone in the chat tell me another song that has very, very simple stepwise motion in the melody? And when I'm talking about stepwise motion, what I mean is like, I'm not doing huge jumps. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just walking up the scale and back down the scale. Can anyone give me an example of that? Let's see if anyone can come up with one. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and invite on Kai. Kai, are you ready? Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to add you in. What's up, dude?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Nervous. I've been like trying to get a hold of you and like trying to join the streams, but I've been waiting, so I'm excited.
You're here now. That's all that matters. Where in the world are you calling me from?
Michigan.
Awesome. What part?
Brighton.
Where is that?
It's closer to the Metro Detroit area.
Okay, gotcha. Awesome. And what's it like there today?
The weather is very unpredictable. Sometimes it could be snowy and sometimes it could be hot. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. I actually have a couple of students in Michigan right now, and it's like every week they're just like, oh yeah, today it's freezing, and the next week it's like beautiful and sunny. BH says, let's see, Someone to Love by Louis Capaldi is an example of a song with a stepwise melody. I don't know if I'd agree with that. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star actually has a jump. Twinkle Twinkle. So that's a perfect fifth jump that you have to do right there. So that's not a stepwise motion. Mary had a little lamb. There's an example. Why? Because it's just moving by steps. But Kai, tell me a little bit about you. in your own singing? Like, what are you working on right now?
So I've been singing for a while, but I haven't been like trained at all. I'm a trans guy. So I had a bigger voice to work with. But now that I have the right puberty and like now my voice is like where I want it to be. So now I'm just trying to work on it now and
Yeah,
perfect it. So
absolutely. And you identify as female?
male.
Male. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Awesome. So you've made the transition from female to male.
Yep.
Awesome. And how's that going for you so far? Like, how are like all the hormones and everything? How's that working for your voice?
Wonderful. Like I've just been trying to like I've noticed the drop in stuff and so I've just been trying to work with what I have and everything's going well.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I've worked with a lot of trans folks that it's like, it seems like it's one way or the other. It's like, oh my gosh, my voice is a train wreck right now. Or it's like, wow, things have been really smooth and I'm really excited about how I can bridge now because
Right.
your voice has transitioned down quite a bit, right?
Yeah. That's that yeah. Like the one thing I want to work on is the bridge because like I can go through my chest and my head, but the bridge is I'm trying to figure out where my break is and I don't
Yeah.
know where it is yet.
Absolutely. Well,
So
why don't we start off there? So, what I'll do then, Kai, is I'll go ahead and start you off in kind of like let's say like a middle kind of male starting key, and we'll
okay.
see if you can match that. Just based on your speaking voice, I'm thinking it might be a little bit low, but let's just take it one step at a time. So, can you just sing this here? Can you go, ah? Gorgeous. Now here.
Ah, ah,
Beautiful.
ah. I'm shaky. I'm not usually nervous.
Oh, you're
Woo!
doing great, Kai. Everybody give it up for Kai. You sound amazing so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's do it. That's it,
Ah,
baby.
ah, 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 ah,
Gorgeous.
ah, ah.
Awesome job, Kai. Let that rest for a second. So I'm hearing that you're bridging just like a tenor would. You're
Oh,
bridging,
cool.
yeah, you're bridging right around that E4. The last note that I played there was actually an A4. So I
Wow.
took you all the way up through your first passage. By the way, for the folks that don't know, first passage for males tends to be around E, F, F sharp, and G4. And then the second passage for males tends to start around A4. So A4, B flat 4, B4, and C5. And so I took Kai all the way up through the male first passage and at the very start of the female first passage. And what's cool about that is that not only do you have a lot of resonance on those lower notes, I started you way down on an E flat 3. So you started where a tenor would start, and it sounded fine doing it. But you also ran into trouble in the same place the tenors run into trouble, which is around the E4, F4, F sharp 4 area. And the way that you were kind of struggling with that, Kai, is that you were starting to kind of push through that area. So like right around there, you're like, you were starting to kind of push through that area. And that's okay, a beautiful thing, actually, because, you know, it helps us know that, oh, that's an area where we need to do a little bit of work. But also because a lot of people that are identify as female start off too light and they sing really, really lightly through that passage and they'll just disconnect to falsetto. That's not the case for you anymore. So that testosterone is really you're on testosterone, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So that's really thickening up the vocal cords, which is causing you to kind of push more at the top. So
Right.
for me, it's like I get to just kind of treat you just like I would any tenor that's kind of pushing through his first passage. let's go ahead and start here. Can you go?
I can try.
Okay. Is that scale? Is that too difficult for you?
Well, I'm partly because I'm holding my phone, so like I have to touch my cheeks. Like I know the drill, but
sure.
I have to like.
Can you maybe set your phone down
Yeah.
so that you can
Okay.
just put it? Well, not if you can still have it pointed at your face.
I
Maybe
can try.
yeah. Maybe put it like on a desk or a dresser or something like that.
see.
That's more at your
Maybe
face
like
level.
maybe like try to.
Thomas Nguyen says, "Welcome to the tenor group, Kai."
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, Thomas is another trans singer who's also a tenor now as well.
And that's why I felt like it was easy to go to you because you're so friendly with transgender people. So
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, well, we're all just people,
yeah,
and
exactly.
we just have different voices, you know. So that's what we're working on. Let's do that here. Good. Try to get your lips to flop even a little bit more, rather, and having like kind of like a hole or an opening there. Try to let the lips kind of flop on top of each other a little bit more. Here we go. Don't
water, maybe?
Don't over press, Kai. Don't like smash your lips together. Instead, you're just holding. Awesome. Good.
When I get up there, I crack up there, like, and I don't know why, but I can hit it while like belting it, but I don't know why.
But rather than
yeah,
and
exactly.
pushing up to it, instead allow your voice to go up to that head voice area because that's where your head voice is now, Kai. That's exactly what I want there. Yeah. I know it feels like you're kind of like disconnecting and letting go into your head voice, but that's what you have to do because that's where tenors start to go up into their head dominant mix. So if I go, then I'm going to be flat and I'm going to be strainy. But if I allow a little, if I allow a little bit of that head voice sound in there, then I can actually make the note. Do one more. Good, good, good. Now do me a favor. Do that same thing on nay, like neighbor. So like nay, 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 nay.
Nay, nay, nay. Excuse me.
No worries.
Nay, 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 nay.
Good.
Nay, 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 nay.
Beautiful, Kai.
Nay, 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 nay.
Good, but rather than nay, 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 try to just say the word like you're saying neighbor, nay. Can you just say that for me, Kai?
Nay.
Right, right, right. And even if it feels like it's a little breaky, if you go straight there like that, start it from the bottom, but keep that same feeling of walking up to it. So like nay, 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 nay.
Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay.
Great job, Kai. Everybody give it up for other Kai No, that's two okays. There
I
a
was
little
dying
okay.
when I found out another Kai was streaming. I'm like, oh my god, he's getting 2 Kais today.
I
Double
know.
trouble
He's like,
today.
he took my name.
That's my name, bro. I saw it first.
Yeah, dude. You were here last week. Let's do it again. Nay, 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 nay. Keep talking up there.
Nay, nay, can't. Nay, 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 nay.
Except you stopped talking it. You were like, nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay.
Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay.
Good. Don't pause in between. Just go straight through. Nay, 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 nay.
I'm such a perfectionist. I'm trying to get them all correct. That's my
This is not about perfection. This is about training your nervous system that when you go up there, not everything has to fall apart. You don't have to freak out when you go up there. Not you, Kai, but your nervous system is being like, nay, 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 eh. We're convincing it that it's like, nay, nay, that's okay. Yeah. Do it again.
nay, 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 nay. It's like
good. Now here.
Pardon.
Nay, 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 nay.
Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay.
Awesome.
Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay.
Good. Now try to go through it as if that nobody feels the break except for you. You're not letting anybody know with your body or your facial expression that that's a hard place for you. You're just singing straight through it. You're Obi-Wan Kenobiing your way through this. So it's like, nay, 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 nay. Go for it.
Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay.
But when you stop up there, you're letting us know that it's like, oh, that's a hard place. Oh, gosh, I don't know if I can sing much higher than that. You've got this, dude. Just go straight through. Nay, 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 nay. Here we go.
Nay, 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 nay. Ah, damn it.
You're almost there. You're almost there. Nay, 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 nay.
Nay, 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 nay.
Right on, right on. Now let's do the same thing. Mum, like mother. Mum, mum. Sorry, starting in the wrong place. Mum, 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 mum.
Mum, 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 mum.
Good, and keep talking it. Mum, 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 mother, mum.
Mum, 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 mum.
That's it.
Mum, 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 mum.
Good, now try this for me, Kai. Pretend like you're really sad and you're kind of sobbing your way through it, like mum, 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 mum.
Mum, 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 mum.
There you go.
Mum, 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 mum.
Good, relax the jaw. Mum, 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 mum. No. Mum, 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 mum.
How to relax the jaw is the
Drop the jaw
Drop it.
vertically. Yeah. Mum, 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 mum. Versus mum, 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 mum.
Mum, 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 mum. But then I flip to my head, like is
I
that
know. You got it. Can you keep some of the sobby in there though?
Yeah.
So it's rather than ma 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 Mum, 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 mum.
Mum, 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 mum. Ah! Sorry. I'm getting.
Oh, you're doing fine, Kai. Everybody give it up for Kai in the chat. You're killing it.
I swear, I'm not trying to be difficult.
You're not difficult at all. This is a part of the process. You're singing up to a B flat 4. It's a tough note. So rather than mom or ma, I want mum 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 mum.
Mum, 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 mum,
Yes, yes, yes.
mum, 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 mum.
That's it. That's it right there. Do you have a little bit of a song we can work on?
I don't. I'm not practicing anything in particular. But you could throw a basic song at me. I might know it.
Do you sure. Just based on the quality of where your voice is right now, do you sing any Bruno Mars?
I couldn't. I would try to attempt, and I would be afraid to because he seems like it's high for me. I don't know why, but
Oh, I mean, he's an exceptionally gifted singer, but just like based on where your vocal weight is right now and the way that your voice sounds,
right.
it's just like I think he would be a good match. So for instance, we could look at let me think of a more basic song. Stand by 1 second.
Okay.
By the way, whenever I'm like looking at these songs and people are like, "Where are you like getting this from?" It's from my songbook, 150 vocal songs for
Like-
altos, mezzos, and sopranos.
Like, but believe it or not, like you're giving me someone who's higher, but I love singing like Sinatra and
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I love Sinatra and like all different. I sing everything like pop, like I like all different types of music. So
Well, let's do it then. You want to give me "Fly Me to the Moon"?
fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, I keep going.
Yeah, please. You're doing great.
Hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
Awesome. Beautiful job, Kai. You sound great, man. Absolutely. See, look, everybody in the chat's going crazy for you. It's wonderful. So here's what I want to do. Let's just work on a couple of things to smooth things out just a little bit. And then we're gonna look at the high notes at the very end. Because my guess is that's where things probably get a little bit tense. Can you please be true?
The E4 I can actually hit fine. It's that G4 that he goes higher. In
Yeah.
other words.
In other words. Yep.
That's
yep.
hard.
I got you, baby. Let's we'll start there then. We'll go right to the heart of darkness. So go from in other words, please be true. In other words, in other words.
So in other words, please be true. In other words. In other words.
Good. So change that vowel from in other words to in other words, N, like you're saying the letter N.
N. Okay. In other words.
Now here's something that I want you to think about. It's kind of like you've got two volume knobs here. kind of like a guitar that's plugged into an amplifier. I've got a volume on my guitar, but I've also got a volume on my amplifier, right? So I've got two different knobs to play with. Now, if I turn up the volume on my amp really, really high, then I barely have to touch the volume on my guitar because otherwise it's just going to be super loud. Or I can turn the volume all the way up on my guitar and I can barely have to turn it up on my amp. So the same thing is true with you in singing. When you drop your jaw, you get a lot more volume. So you don't have to press so much here. So rather than, in other words, hold back slightly in the volume, but keep that drop jaw. In other words. Yeah.
Whew. And ooh, it's like I think because I hear Sinatra and I try to match what he's doing and belt it, but it just doesn't.
Yeah, it's not going to work for you. We want to do something different for you. So do the same thing. Go, in other words.
And
Yeah, but drop the jaw, Kai. So rather than in other words.
in other words.
There you go.
Right?
There you go. Now, just to show you one other way to do that, Sarah, go ahead and turn on your camera because I want to hang out with you. Go, mama. Excuse me. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. Mom. Like mother.
Mom.
Good, but drop the jaw, not mom. Good. Now, ne, like never. Like I never want to hear that. Na. Good. Notice how much more tension there is, though. So rather na. Just relax it. Remember, now that you're opening the jaw, you've got a lot more volume. So don't press so much. That's it. Keep going. Wonderful. Same feeling. One more. Don't forget to drop the jaw.
Right.
Good. Now go. In other words.
In other words.
Dude, that is so much better. That is so much better. Good. So, in other words, please be true. In other words. Oh, sorry. I'm starting from the wrong one. So, in other words, please be true. From there, please.
In other words, please be true. In other words.
Yeah, you can spend a little more time on it. So, rather,
right.
In other words. There you go.
In other words.
So don't push to it. In other words, remember, it's very relaxed. In other words.
I still feel pressure in the back of my head, and I don't know why.
But not in, Kai.
Right.
N. In other words.
In other words.
Yeah, now imagine that you're on top of the note rather than pushing up to it. In other words. That was it.
It's like, I don't know if it's like at the top of my, I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's not at the top of your range.
Okay.
You just have to change your relationship with that note.
Okay.
Do it one more time. So, in other words.
In other words, please be true. In other words.
It's okay. You lost it for a second, but listen back to this recording. Listen back to this recording because you found it. It was so clear. It's just right now you got into your own head for a second, but that's totally fine. Dude, you're killing it. Everybody give it up for Kai. Dude, watch this again. There was some great stuff happening here. Sarah, are you still with us? Turn on your camera if so. And I'll invite you on and we'll do a little bit of work together. And it looks like you need to turn on your microphone.
Oh, sorry.
No worries at all. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Where in the world are you?
I'm in the Bay Area.
Oh,
now.
cool.
Yeah.
What part?
SF.
San Francisco proper?
Yeah.
Awesome. What part of the city?
Well, like right outside. I always just say SF, but San Mateo.
Oh, San Mateo. Cool. I
Yeah.
used to live in the Mission in San Francisco.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of I lived in a closet. I lived in a walk-in closet
Yeah.
for $600 a month, but
Crazy.
it was big enough for a twin bed and a guitar. That's all I really cared about at that time. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about you and singing?
So I started singing during quarantine. That was like my activity. Rabbit hole of YouTube videos. I bet you I watched every single video out there. Yeah. And then for my university, we have to take an art course. So
Okay.
a beginning voice class there. So like I got a little proper training.
Cool.
But I feel like it didn't like help the issues that I had because I like still, you know, like the bits and little bits of like parts of my voice that I wanted to fix. So
What
yeah.
are those?
I just like I guess it's my tone, but there's just like something about my voice I just don't like. I don't know why, but yeah, that's pretty much like what I want to work on.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll take a look. Do you have a cat behind you? I see your.
That's my dog.
I was like,
just
your
mad as
curtains are like shaking all over the place.
I know.
What kind of dog do you have? Do you want to invite your dog on the stream?
Oh, I'll show you her. But we're actually not sure what her breed is, but this is her.
Oh, what a sweet girl.
She's so cute. Yeah, I love her.
What's her name?
Leela.
Leela. Oh, that's a great name. All right. So, what I want to do, Sarah, is really quickly, I'm just going to have you sing a really simple assessment scale just to get a feel for your range and your voice and all that stuff. And we're just going to talk about what we hear. Okay? Cool. So, and especially with an eye on the vocal tone like you're talking about. So, let's just start here. Can you go? Doing great. Wonderful. Last one. Everyone give it up for Sarah. That was awesome. Way to go. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I love the sound of your voice. It's obvious that you've been working on it for a little while now because you have such a good sense of pitch. I'm just hearing that like there's a little bit of kind of a lack of confidence in it, you know? And the way that that manifests itself right now in your tone, Sarah, is a little bit of breathiness. So if I asked you to sing that, you went a little bit more, there was a little bit of that breathiness that was leaking through your vocal cords. And so what I want to do is kind of a twofold thing. Hey, Leela. Leela's like, this is my lesson. She's like, I don't know what my mom's doing, but this is my lesson. So what I want to do, Sarah, is I want to just give you a little bit more of a feeling of singing in the bottom part of your voice with more support down there, what we call the chest voice. Have you heard that term before?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. So I just hear that you're singing just a little bit lightly in your chest voice. And as you go up higher, it gets even lighter. So you're like, you know, it just starts to disappear because as the chords get thinner, if they're already kind of thin and already kind of light, then it's just going to get thinner as we go up. So instead, I'm going to have you make some really terrible, embarrassing sounds for a little while. Do you mind?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're in. I love it. I love it. Okay, great. So do me a favor and just say mum, 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 like mother.
Mum, mum, mum.
Good. Now pretend like you're trying to reach the next room or maybe even across the hall. Mum, 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 like project it a bit.
Mum, mum, mum.
That's perfect. Good. Now say it a little bit higher. Mum, mum, mum.
Mum, mum, mum.
Even higher. Mum, mum, mum.
Mum, mum, mum.
Love it. Now there's some real chest voice there. You didn't go mum, mum, mum. Why? Because your intention was to communicate. You're trying to actually reach people. You're trying to actually reach people with your voice rather than, oh, I have to sing pretty. No, you're actually trying to, You're trying to reach people with your voice. So let's try that same thing. Can you go, and pretend that you're trying to reach someone across the hall?
Mum, mum, mum.
Beautiful. Now, even rather than mum, try to reach them even more.
Mum, mum, mum.
That's what I want, Sarah. Good. Now go. Mum, 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 mum.
Mum, 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 mum.
Hell yeah. You feel the difference there?
Yeah, it's a lot more heavier, more strength, I guess.
It's heavier, but it also matches your speaking voice too. Because it's not like you're like, hi, my name's Sarah. It's nice to meet you. Like, hi, my name's Sarah. It's nice to meet you. Like, you're using the full instrument the way it's supposed to be used. And when you go back to that kind of light thing, it actually kind of hurts your coordination a little bit. Let's stay with that. Go, mom, 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 mom.
Mum, 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 mum.
But don't end light. Mom, 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 mom.
Mum, 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 mum.
That's it.
Mum, 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 mum.
Good. Stay strong. Just keep talking it. Mom, 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 mother.
Mum, 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 mum.
Let's do something crazy. You know Rihanna?
Yes.
You know that song Stay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's lyrics.
That's okay. Yeah. So I can coach you through it too. Just try this. Say, all along it was a fever. Just say the words. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Good. Now say it like you mean it. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Yeah, but with emotion. Reach across the hall. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Now higher. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Even higher. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Good. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Beautiful, beautiful. But rather than all along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Now this is the tricky part. I want you to still imagine that you're just saying the words, but say the words on pitch. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Nice, nice, nice. Now let's just try that on an exercise for a second. Go, mom, 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 mom.
Mom, 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 mom.
Good. Now make sure they hear you across the hall. Mom, 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 mom.
Mom, 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 mom.
There you go. You feel the difference there?
Yeah.
Good. Make sure you end strong too, Sarah. You're killing it, but make sure you're end strong too. Mom, 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 mom. Mom, 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 mom. One more time.
Mom, 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 mom.
Good. Now with the lyrics. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever. I'm keeping my jaw kind of relaxed, Sarah. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever.
Good job. Now, what's tricky about that is that you have a G note is your second note. All along. So the second note is basically the very top of your chest voice. And to
Mm.
make things even a little bit tougher, it's on an L consonant, which creates a little bit of tongue tension. I'm raising my tongue, raising my larynx, right? Which is why I'm having you think about keeping that jaw a little bit more relaxed. So it's like all along, all along. Can you just say that again?
All along.
Yeah, kind of like a lazy jaw. All along.
All along.
Good. Now say it across the hall. All along.
All along.
Good. All along it was a fever.
All along it was a fever. Yeah.
You got it. You got it. Do you see what we're working on there?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Tell me how it feels different for you.
It's more of my chest, like it's not as like breathy, I guess, and I feel more confident. Although I feel like it's about to like break or crack. I feel like if I focus on like having a more relaxed jaw,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't break as much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is the tricky part about that song is like what's cool about that song is that you can basically kind of chest your way through all of the verses until you get to the ooh at the very, very end. Which really isn't that big of a deal because she does it kind of in a falsetto. There are other songs that you can look at, like maybe like The Rose by Bette Midler, which is a little bit of an older song that's like, sometimes love it is a river. That stays like all beneath that G as well. But what's really important about what you're doing, Sarah, is you are keeping that foundation in the bottom part of your voice, in that chest voice. And what's cool is like you found it really quick. So if I were working with you in a lesson, we would maybe spend one lesson doing what we just did until you got it. And then next week, I'd be like, okay, let's start looking at those high notes because that's going to be the next thing for you. Does that sound cool?
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome, Sarah. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Guys, I loved meeting up with you today. Just a quick reminder, you can get my amazing ebook, 150 vocal songs, for only $19 today. That sale is ending in the next couple of hours. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. I'm always loving to hear from you guys. And this has been really fun. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And for all the people that are in the waiting room right now that weren't able to get on, make sure that you're able to check all of your tech issues and stuff like that for next time. And hopefully we can do it then. Have a great one. Bye.